Hey guys! As I mentioned last week, today I'll be doing a book review. But I want to make it a little bit more fun. For you and for myself. Today I'll be reviewing John Green's newest book, The Anthropocene Reviewed. It's a collection of essays where he reviews different facets of our human-centered planet and rates them on a 5-star scale. And what would be more fitting than having the different facets of my personality review The Anthropocene Reviewed on a 5-star scale. For context, I have been using different characters in my videos that roughly represent my personality. So first up there's the nerd. I'm not a nerd, I'm just a bit more academically inclined, said the nerd. And that is the character I have been referring to as my inner critic. General bitchiness and sarcasm is expected from that area. I prefer to think of myself as your filter, so that you don't just blurt out whatever Care Bear over there has to say. Hey! And that's my more emotional side. Happiness, sadness, everything in between. That's her department. With that being said, what do you guys think of The Anthropocene Reviewed? Well, I for one enjoyed it immensely. Green's insightful commentary in which he mixes topical information with biographical retellings is not something I have seen before. And although it says Essays on a Human-Centered Planet on the cover of the book, I would argue that the essays are really about John Green. I mean, to be fair, John Green is part of the Anthropocene. Well, yes, and Green addresses this in his introduction. He writes that in the Anthropocene there are no observers, there are only participants. You think you sound so smart, but you're just quoting John Green's ideas. Hey, let her finish her point. You can go next if you want to. I cannot say how factually accurate all of these essays are, but I would like to point out that Green provides sources at the end of his book, which I find amicable. To conclude my point, Green provides compelling and insightful essays filled with autobiographical elements. To me, this is a novel concept, but I am not surprised that I enjoyed it since I've been listening to the podcast of the same name since its inception. I rate John Green's book, The Anthropocene Reviewed, 4.5 stars. Thank you for that. That was very nice. Now it's my turn. The essays are about pretty random stuff, but that's also how the world is in my opinion, so that's cool. Sometimes I feel like the world is horrible and on fire, sometimes literally, but John Green made me feel hopeful for a bit, so that was nice. He jumped around a lot, even within essays, but it's also how my brain works. So I kind of liked that. Having the elements about his personal life in there certainly made it more interesting. And I know it's none of my business, but I'm glad he shared them. But yeah, same as the podcast, he did a good job. Wow, that was astonishingly positive. What do you rate the book? Well, yeah, it's a good book, and I have impeccable taste. So I rate the book 4.5 stars. Don't look so surprised, I can like things. Is it my turn now? Sure. Yay. I really liked it. It really made me feel happy about the world, but it also made me feel really sad. Why was that? In one text he talks about a kid getting hurt, and that made me feel really sad. But then the kid's okay, but it still made me cry. Anything else? It made me feel inspired, I guess. It's a really good book. John did a good job, he gets 5 stars. Your turn. I gave these guys a lot of the things I wanted to say. So I really liked this book. It made me cry several times. Googling strangers and scratch and sniff stickers really got me, but that's a good thing. I'm absolutely seeing my weeping as a positive. Yeah, I think I'll be rereading this again and again. Maybe not in its entirety, and the nice thing is you don't have to read this consecutively. And I also think that's one of the reasons why it makes a great gift. And also just like, look at it. It's a beautiful book. Also, I got a signed copy and I really appreciate that. And I really just want to thank John for signing all of those sheets of paper. That must have been a lot of work. I have been a nerd fighter for a long time and I really look up to John, so this means a lot to me. Yeah, this book made me feel more hopeful about the world we're living in and also made me look at it differently. So I rate The Anthropocene Reviewed 5 stars. Did you really get Diet Dr. Pepper just because of this? Hey, it's really good, but kinda yeah. By the way, the German slogan on this is hilarious because it's schmeckt aber nicht jedem, which I would translate to it's tasty, but not for everyone.